Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Deadeye Gunslinger build in Baldur's Gate 3. This is part of the Player's Handbook 2024 All-in-One Beyond by yoonmoonsik. The Gunslinger itself comes with actually 6 different subclasses. On top of this mod also has 30 different subclasses for all the different base game classes, and adds in the Artificer, Illrigger, and Scion alongside the Gunslinger. Now the Gunslinger gets Quick Draw, which gives advantage on your initiative roll, and you get the Push, Slow, and Vex abilities from weapon masteries on the guns. This is great because we also get to select a weapon at the start, either a musket or a pistol. I'm going with the dual pistols as they work like dual hand crossbows, which is really nice. And for our ability scores, this is a very heavy dex build, so you could go 17, use the hags here. I'm going to go 16 here. It does have intelligence for its casting, but I would actually recommend going with a constitution score of 16, and we'll go as that there. And it's really nice to have the skill proficiency in persuasion, although having stealth and sleight of hand are nice too. Upon hitting level 2, we get another class feature, the critical shot, which gives us an increased critical hit chance by 1. We also get Bite the Bullet, which is a bonus action. We can expend a risk die to get temporary health equal to the number rolled plus our gunslinger level. We also get the blind fire bonus action risk point here. You can use a bonus action to gain blind sight with a range of 30 feet until the end of the turn. And there's also the dodge roll here, which you can use a risk die and bonus action move up to 15 feet and reload any ranged weapons you were holding. This doesn't proc opportunity attacks, and you don't get it with difficult terrain. Those get a fighting style, with shooting being a +2 to the ranged weapon attack rolls. I like defense, but shooting ends up being a good choice here. Now, once we get to level 3, we get to take our subclass. Now, as mentioned, there's 6 of them. There's High Roller, Secret Agent, Spell Slinger, Trick Shot, White Hat. Let me know if you'd like to see one of these next. I'll be focusing on the Deadeye today, but I don't mind doing another build for one of these if people would like to see it. With this subclass, we get Eagle Eye. Once per turn, when we miss an attack with a ranged weapon roll, we can expend 1 die and add it to our dexterity modifier, and that roll to our attack roll, which basically means you're going to hit, because that's a lot of extra points. Dexterity modifier right now just being a +3, and then you can reroll a die and get an extra boost, which is really nice. The sharpshooter stands here whenever you don't have disadvantage on a ranged weapon attack, or you can't get disadvantage if someone is prone, and if you are prone yourself, you can get up by only using 5 meters of your movement speed. So it does get some better abilities as we continue to level up here. Level 4, we get our first feat. I like the alert feat. This also makes changes so that certain feats require you to have a stat score, so this actually locks us out of some of them. Sharpshooter is another consideration, which does work on this build to increase the range weapon damage we will be dealing, as the guns count as hand crossbows. Level 5, extra attack. We like that. We also get gunshots. When you score a critical hit against a larger or smaller creature with a ranged weapon, the projectile lodges itself in the target for 10 turns or 1 minute. Its speed is halved and its disadvantage on attack rolls. Once we get to level 6, however, we get our subclass feature of Sniper. So you make an attack roll while hidden, and the roll misses, making the attack roll doesn't reveal your location. So you get a bonus action hide now, making us really nice at being stealthy, because we can get up into a position, do a critical attack. If we had a missing, we don't worry about that. We also get a level 7 Evasion, which will make it take half less damage from all dexterity saves. And if we succeed on them, we don't take any damage. If we fail, we take half damage. Really nice. Level 8. At this point, a dexterity-based improvement is a good choice. You could also go with an increased sharpshooter for the range damage. This does have a difference actually with the 2024 Player's Handbook update, which will actually increase the range for attacks here. So this could be pretty nice. It also does not give us disadvantage from attack rolls, which is similar to what Crossbow Expert is. Whereas Crossbow Expert makes it so that your offhand crossbows get the ability modifier added to the damage. We're still going to go with Sharpshooter for the range increase, which fits very well on a Sharpshooter. Level 9 gives us the improved critical shot, increasing our crit chance even further, which is obviously really nice. Level 10 gives us the reposition. As a reaction, you can move up to half your speed and disengage. It's great. It doesn't use up your action or bonus action, so useful. Level 11 gives us overkill. When you deal damage with a ranged weapon, the target takes an additional 1d8, a pretty considerable boost to the amount of damage we deal. So that's really nice. Now, level 12, we can end up stopping here. I'm going to go all the way to level 20 to show all the abilities that we get. But level 12 does give us another choice in feat, and I'd recommend go with the dexterity-based improvement. And actually going with Crossbow Expert will give us a +1 as well, which would take our dexterity up to 18. And then this is actually applied to the guns as well. So this could be nice, allowing us to get an offhand attack modifier added. It's nice, actually. You could go with the dexterity-based increase. So this class actually only has level 12 support here, but in our final level here, we get our hit point die, which is part of this mod as well. We got 5 risk die, which replenish on a short rest. And we got the pistols here, which come with this mod. You can purchase these from like Damon and others. This gives you long range shooting, which is part of the weapon fighting cell. There's also the musket here, which looks pretty cool as well. Just depends if you prefer having the dual wielding or the single weapon. I like to go with the dual. There's also the Royal Knight armor, which just also dropped on console as well. And looking into equipment, we actually can make great use of the Slayer cloak here, which whenever you're hiding, it increase critical hit chance, which is something we like on this build because we have a very high chance of critting. And we have a bonus action hide, so we can actually proc this really easily or affect it really easily. I like it on this build. It's actually kind of nice. I also have the ballast armor here. This is really good because it makes targets vulnerable to piercing, so we can double up the damage that we're dealing towards them. And we got the piercing damage on these weapons, so this is nice. At close range with our feats that we selected, we can actually do a pretty considerable amount of damage. Helldust gloves, because it adds 1d6 of fire damage. You could use the Dark Justice air gauntlets. Any extra damage gloves are going to be nice in this build because we can use arrow for many targets and shoot multiple targets at a time. It's kind of funny. I'd recommend going with that. If you have the Illithid ability Drain, the Boots of Stormy Clamor ends up just being the best boots for you because you can debuff the enemy and knock them prone. It's great. Evasive shoes from a higher armor class, disintegrating Nightwalkers for the teleport, and even late game the Hellas boots for the other teleport work well too. I also have the Mask of Soul Perception, which, since this mod does make changes to the initiative die, gives a +8 to initiative, which it normally just gave a different ability. This mod does make a lot of changes to the gear, +2 bonus to the attack rolls as well, which is what we want to have that for. Haste Helmet can also be nice for the extra movement speed. Even the Horns of the Berserker, which will give you additional damage, could work well. I like this just to make sure that we do go first in combat. And I also have the Shadow Cloaked Ring here, which will give us a 1d4 of additional damage on lightly obscured or heavily obscured targets, which is great because we can use like Arrow of Darkness to get this, but that's more damage from our weapon, which means that we can double the damage. I also have the Caustic Band for extra acid damage, so we get additional fire and acid on our shots there. Just a nice extra bit of damage on it. And the Amulet of Greater Health, which is changed in this to only give a +3 Constitution. So when it comes to combat, we have different class abilities like the Blind Fire there if we need to use them. The Dodge Roll, which can also be an ability that we could possibly use if we need to get some avoid opportunity attacks and avoid difficult terrain. There's also the Bite the Bullet, which can give us additional temporary health points if we wanted to. I think at this point, it's probably just best to start blasting. Things like arrow many targets, again, do work here. And it's great because if you got that free crit, you can see that it's going to crit everybody as it continues around. Now, haste also works differently in this mod. So haste actually doesn't give you the haste action like it does in Baldur's Gate 3. It gives you what's called a hasted action. So you can do things like the trip, you can do a throw, you can do an improvised weapon attack, you can shove someone as a hasted attack. With this, we also have the additional attack. So it's just something to note that if you're used to playing with haste, a lot of things are actually nerfed with this build. And you can see that we're actually able to vex multiple targets with that arrow many targets, which is nice. But Call the Weak also surprisingly doesn't work properly here. There's a lot of different abilities which are strong in the base game, which don't work. Mind Blast still does, though. That's honestly such a powerful ability and can stun a bunch of targets. So here's cool. So Ensnaring Shrike needs a 20 to hit. They rolled a 21. We got the Skin of Our Teeth. So when a creature you can see hits you with a weapon attack, you can take a reaction, expend one wrist die to dodge out of the way, roll the die and add this number to your armor class to make it miss. This will turn it into a miss. So you see there, we got that. So again, I guess our next best follow-up is to go again with the arrow many targets. We have increased crit chance. We just basically do our range attacks here. We don't have any really special range abilities, so using special arrows is kind of the next best thing. We can also use the haste action to the right here, which gives that extra attack if we wanted it here. We also got offhand attacks, so we do have other options to get some extra damage in, but this mod does make things a little bit more challenging. And again, I guess we'll use our haste action here first. So we can get a range attack off against someone here, just because sometimes it does work a little wonky. I should turn off dual attack there so I can use my bonus action, forcing that target only had a little bit of health left. And we'll go again with arrow many targets. This is just really going to be one of our best options for the damage because that just lets us hit multiple targets at a time. There is like some obviously constrictions there that for some reason ate up our extra action. I think that, oh, no, we got it back. It doesn't let us use the arrow for whatever reason. So yeah, there's sometimes some bugs that do happen. Now our bow attacks keep applying sap, which will give the target disadvantage on its next attack roll, which is honestly quite nice here. We also got that Bite the Bullet again anytime we need it. That gave us 22 health there, which is obviously quite a nice boost. If you're in a pinch, need to use your bonus action, you can regain some health. So that is the Gunslinger Deadeye in Baldur's Gate 3, part of the 2024 Player's Handbook update. Let me know your thoughts on it, because I will be likely doing some more videos across this, as there are some fun changes that people would like to see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next video.